What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH, I enjoyed this episode. It's a lot of moving parts right now. We're getting to the nitty gritty of things. We're finally getting to the thick of some of these storylines. They're moving slowly but surely, but we getting there. We almost at the finish line. Um, Jocelyn sitting there about to burn down the damn house. Well, you hear smoke alarms and shit going on. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. She said, and she tried to play Carly too, talking about, oh, I see I inherited mom's cooking skill in the kitchen. I'm like, nah, don't try to play Carly. She tried to play her mother. But I mean, it is true. We all know Carly can't cook worth a shit. So, but that shit was funny though. The food looked good though, I ain't gonna lie. Like, whatever that was, chicken parmesan, marinated, whatever that was, chicken marinade, whatever she called it, that shit was looking good though. Um, And I'm glad, her and Jax had that one-on-one time and they were just talking about the situation and he was asking her how she felt about the guards and all that. And she was honest. She was like back then, when she was younger, she kind of, had a little issue with it, but now it's like it doesn't bother her. So, I'm glad they had that time to talk and stuff, and he asked her about Cameron and she was like, they good and whatnot. Um but when she finally tasted that sauce, she knew something with that sauce. She knew it was Sunny sauce automatically because she's had Sunny sauce over the years to know the distinctiveness of it from other, marinara sauces and stuff like that. Because even Jack said most sauces do taste the same. And I ain't gonna lie, they do. A lot of sauces do taste the same. And he was like, it tastes a little, like it had like a spicy kick to it, like it was smoked or whatever. And she was like, yeah, she was like, if I didn't think Sonny was dead, she was like, shit, I would have thought Sonny made this. I said, exactly. Because his sauce has such a uniqueness to it because he adds his own special blend and everything to it. He jazzes it up. So that's how they know when it's his. And that sparked a memory in Jax because she told Jax that Trina got the sauce from a bar in Nixon Falls. And Jax was like, what's the name of it? And she tried to backpedal, was like, oh, it's nothing. Jax was like, nah. Because it sparked a memory with him. Because remember when Jax was in Nixon Falls, he got shot. And he kept thinking that he was seeing Sonny. But, Nina kept talking like he was hallucinating or whatever because he got shot. And he remembered that. Jax is going to end up going to Nixon Falls again. He going to end up going down there and investigating. He gonna look into this shit because he know what he saw, And Nina tried to make him think it was something else. I'm like, nah, trust your gut, trust your gut. Nina's a liar. You saw what you saw, and I wonder if Jax is gonna play a part in Sonny coming back to Port Charles. Like, is he gonna, you never know with Jax, like, because Jax cannot stand Sonny. So if people think he's dead, you know how Jax is. Let them think, that they dead or whatever, that he dead. But I'm like, nah, you need to bring him back. You need to bring him back. If you find him, bring him home. Um, Speaking of Nina and Sonny, so they, up in there about to make love and whatnot, and Nina, they was acting like two amateur, just like they ain't never had sex in their life. That's how they was acting. Like, he done got his watch caught in her ear. I was like, Sonny, just yank that shit. Just yank it. Um, so she looked at the inscription on the watch. She's sitting there talking about, oh, I can't do this because you need to find out who you are. Like, where if you got people out there that love you. And Sonny was like, I don't care. He said, shit, they ain't looking for me, so I ain't looking for them. He was like, I don't want to look. And she kept telling him basically that, she can't give him all of her until until he goes search for his family. I'm like, dummy, you can tell him who he is, Nina. You know who he is. Why not? If you're so concerned about him finding out who he really is, why don't you just fucking tell him? You literally got the answers right there. Just tell him. Like, why you want him to go search for herself? Because she thinks that she's going to be blameless and all this. I'm like, when Sonny find out who he is and that you kept this information all this time, he going to get in your ass. I'm telling you, he going to get you. You think he not going to be pissed? Oh, trust me, it's going to be some barware being thrown. Like, Nina had the perfect opportunity. You might as well just tell that man, since you so concerned about him knowing. Just tell him. So anyway, moving on from that, I like the conversation that Brando and Sasha had about their living situation. You know what I mean? Because Sasha, she wants them to one day like move in together, maybe, get a place together. But I respect Brando's answer to it, because he was like, I'm doing side gigs plus the garage just to make an extra, chunk of money. I respect it. Like, Brando, he knows that Sasha can afford, a nicer place than he can or whatever. And I respect that he was like, he just wants to save up some money so that way if and when they do move in together, he can pull his own weight financially. That way he ain't moving in with her and she got to pay the bulk of the bills. He don't want to feel like, he's some bum, like she got to take care of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect that. I do. Because financially, you want to be on an even playing field. Like, if you're going to date somebody, you want to feel equal to that person. You know what I'm saying? If they're making a certain amount of money or whatever the case and they can afford certain things, you want to be able to pull your weight and afford certain things too. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I totally do. I have a feeling that one of them or something is going to go wrong. Like, I got a feeling somebody ain't long for this world. Because the way they hyping up this Carly Jason wedding, it sounds like somebody about to die or be at least be seriously hurt. Um, and I sincerely hope Gladys catches a bullet again, because she is pissing me off. But I'm gonna get into that in a second. Um, so of course, Carly, she stopped by the garage or whatever to talk to Brando about the whole Cyrus situation or whatever, and of course she didn't want to talk in front of Sasha. Um, because she's letting them know, like, yeah, Cyrus is making moves from prison. He trying to get revenge on his enemies. She don't know if he's, coming after them per se, but they should be on high alert just in case. You know what I mean? Just in case he pop up or whatever and try to do something, or he got some goon, popping up on them or whatever. You never know with Cyrus. Um, so of course she was kind of picking Brando's brain or whatever about the five families meeting that they had before, when she acknowledged that she was going to be the head of the family, like when he was with the other guards and stuff from the other families, who seemed loyal to who was loyal from the other families to Cyrus, like who was sad about the situation, just trying to get a feel for it. But he couldn't think of nobody in particular. But he said that, he did make notes and stuff like that for when he was reporting things to Jason, so he'll have to look through his notes. Um, because they're just trying to figure out at this point in time who is loyal to Cyrus, who from the five families is working with him. You know what I mean? They're just trying to get proof of it, so that way they could take out the right people accordingly. Um, and of course, Sasha was sitting there eavesdropping on that conversation and trying to see if they were going to tell her the truth about what they were talking about. You know what I mean? Because she heard it. She was like, what were you picking his brain about? Like, what you need him to do. Because the last thing Sasha wants is for Brando to get involved in that business, because it's detrimental to their child, and to their life. So, she's trying to keep close tabs on the situation. Um, Gladys was pissing me off, though, because Gladys is so naive and so dumb when it comes to things. Like, she just allows men to just use her up and spit her out. And that's all she's doing. Sitting there complaining to Vincent Novak about how much she can't stand Carly and how much class Carly doesn't have. If anybody ain't got no class, it's your ass. You're the one who don't got class. Sitting there calling Carly all type of gold digger. And I'm like, well, Vincent, the gold digger is sitting right in front of you. You better make sure that you still got your wallet. I'm just saying. Like, she got her nerve calling Carly a gold digger, talking about, oh, Carly was just using my cousin's money. I'm like, Carly, that goes to show how much Gladys don't know about Sonny and Carly. Carly has her own money. Without Sonny, with Sonny, it don't make a difference. She has her own home aside from Sonny. She co-owns the Metro Court. She even owns La Maison Blanche, that other hotel. She co-owns that. She even co-owns the hotel in Hawaii. Carly is paid. She don't need Sonny money. She doesn't need a dime from him. You know what I mean? Never have. Not really. You know? Um, so Gladys need to go sit down. Gladys is jealous. She wants the life that Carly lives. That's why she's spouting out all this little bitterness and angry, you know. You want that life. That's what you want. You want to live in a fancy mansion, servants, money at your disposal, fancy cars. That's what you want. You want to live the good life without working for it, without doing anything for it. Um, it was just pissing me off that she was allowing Vincent to use her. Like, I'm like, if you gonna run around here and act like a little hoe, at least be a top dollar hoe. I'm just saying, all it took for that man was to buy her a drink and offer to buy her dinner. That's all it took for you to spill your guts. That's it. Oh, so you one of them little low, underpaid hoes. Okay, got you. Um, like seriously, like damn, have some know your worth. I'm just saying, like if you gonna snitch and tell somebody business, at least get something, some better change out the situation. All it takes is dinner and some drinks. That's it. That's all it takes. Um, and Vincent was like, if you hate Carly so damn much, why you even want to go to her wedding or whatever? Oh, because it's a big event. It's the talk of the town. It's this. I'm like, I don't give a damn if it's the talk of the town. If I don't like somebody, I'm not going to your event. I don't care if it's the event to be. Like it's the be all end all or whatever. Like it's the spot to be at or whatever. I'm not gonna be there. Um, so of course, Vincent was pumping her ass for information, asking her about, Carly and Jason relationship. Oh, how long before, after Sonny died did they start seeing each other, start, feeling each other or whatever. She was like, oh, they were pretty much googly eyed at the funeral. They like just spilling her guts. Talking about Jason was messing around with some doctor at the hospital. Gladys, you need your ass whooped. You do. Like, she's like the next Wendy Williams or something. Like, you need your own gossip show. The way she was gossiping and talking, you need your own goddamn show. I'm just saying, just spilling her guts. Like, girl, don't you know any shame? So, of course, Vincent was like, you should be, my plus one at the wedding. She was like, oh, thank you. Oh, what do you get out of all of this? What do you, like, girl, shut up. Then she couldn't wait to go to Carly. And the look on Vincent's face spoke volumes. Like, Vincent was looking at her like, yeah, you gave me all the ammunition I need. And Jason know that he can't trust Vincent. Because when he bumped into Vincent, Vincent was like, oh, you have no problems out of the Novaks and stuff like that. He was like, oh, because I'm still pissed at Cyrus because he got some of my men killed and I don't forgive stuff like that. And Jason was looking at Vincent like, I don't trust your old ass. I don't trust you, nor should he. So of course Gladys couldn't wait to, gloat to Carly that she gonna be at her wedding or whatever. And Carly was like, I'm not even surprised that you got a plus one to the wedding. She was like, let me guess who invited you. Vincent Novak, right? Oh, you talking about something you do know. Duh. She not stupid. Duh. Carly is far from dumb. Like, Gladys, she did not learn from the first time she got that bullet. Like, you damn near died. And here you go back to your old tricks. Like, you would have thought that shit would have taught her a lesson, but nope. That's what happens when you get greedy. That's what happens. And she about to find out, because next time, instead of a doctor, you're going to need an undertaker. So anyway, that Britt, Jason, and Carly scene, I was like, you know what? I respect the fact that Britt tried to keep it classy with Carly, but I'm going to need them to give Britt her edge back and that Britch character back, because after the shit Carly talked to her before, I don't know why she being so super nice. I mean, I get it. You're trying to be classy. You trying to rise above the bullshit. I get it. But you should have two-piece and a biscuit her ass. That's what you should have did. You should have snatched that weave. That's what you should have did. I'm just saying. Well, that might be her real hair, but you know what I'm talking about. You should have snatched her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have caused the scene. I'm just saying, Britt should have handled that. But I respect it. You know what I mean? You trying to show some class or whatever. I respect it, but no, you should have fucked her up on sight. Her conversation with Jason, like, talking about the wedding, and it just seemed like it's happening so fast, and it just makes it look like Carly and Jason are trying to prove something to people. And Jason, he was just giving her very little information, not even no information, like just very little conversation, He was just like, okay. Like, he was just being very, like, okay. Like, one wordish. I was like, and Britt was even taken aback by it. She was like, yeah, I guess I can expect that little conversation out of you. But you can tell Jason want her and she want him still. They still want each other. But Jason is trying to keep her at arm's length where this is all concerned because shit is starting to heat up. You know, things are starting to get bad, and he doesn't want Britt nowhere near this. And I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I still felt like if you're going to be with Britt and you're going to be in this business, then you should, you know, whoever you're dealing with romantically, you got to be able to trust them. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should have told her something to get her to understand this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Britt would have said anything because he knows that she, you know, her background ain't squeaky clean. So if anybody you could trust, it would be her with some criminal shit. I'm just saying. Um, but you know, Britt had a dude show up or whatever. She had a date, and Jason was looking like, who this motherfucker? Jason was like, you brought a man up and through here. And you know, Jason wasn't going nowhere. He sat right at that bar drinking his beer, watching that date. And Britt was not interested in that dude whatsoever. Nice looking guy, but she was not entertained by him at all. And you know somebody not feeling the date when they start looking at their phone. Like, she was pretending she got a text message and was like, oh, duty calls, I got to go. Homeboy was sitting there looking hella confused, like, what the fuck just happened? Britt was like, shit, this date boring, I ain't feeling this. And Jason was drinking his beer looking like, what the hell? He know that Britt wasn't feeling him. That guy is not her type. So anyway, moving on from that, Cyrus is making some big plans, and Mr. Buscema, he is barking up the wrong tree. Like, if he aligned himself with Cyrus, he's a dummy. Like, because in my opinion, I feel like Cyrus is underestimating Jason's leadership skills. Because he basically told Mr. Buscema that having Carly and Jason at the helm of the Corinthos organization is bad for everybody. It's bad business. Because he felt like for years Sonny was the man behind the organization. He was the face of the organization. He was the brains behind the organization. And he made it seem like Jason was nothing more than his hitman, his muscle. And that's further from the truth. Yes, Jason was the Corinthos organization's, you know, hitman, but Jason is much more to the organization than that. And that's how little Cyrus knows about that organization. Because Jason was pretty much a business partner to Sonny. Yeah, Sonny was the official mob boss. He was the official head because Jason never really cared to be the boss. But don't get it twisted. If Jason needs to lead, he knows how to lead. Jason has led that organization more than once without Sonny. And even Diane mentioned years ago when Jason took over that second time. When Jason took over in 2008, even Diane mentioned how the employees and stuff love working for Jason. Jason ran that organization smooth as shit. There was not one problem. The only problem Jason faced was that Russian problem, and that was because of Sonny. But beyond that, Jason ran the hell out that organization without Sonny's input. He got no advice from Sonny, nothing. Jason ran it how the fuck Jason wanted to run it, and it ran smooth. No issue. No issue. And that's when you had the Zakaras around. And Jason still ran it smooth. So Cyrus is definitely underestimating his leadership capabilities and trying to get the rest of the Five family on his side. And that's going to be detrimental to them because, I mean, it's a smart plan on Cyrus's part to be like, okay, so let's ambush them at the wedding because all the Corinthoses are going to be in one spot. That's the best spot to get them. You know what I'm saying? Because he thinks they're going to be vulnerable. But again, you're underestimating them. And Jason, he's the type of person, you got to literally kill Jason. You got to shoot him. If you're going to kill him, you better make sure he's dead. Because if not, he's going to retaliate. And that's the type of thing, that's the type of person Jason is. If you do not kill him, that's your biggest mistake right there. He going to get you. He going to get you. So anyway, moving on from that. Thank God Scott is all right, and thank God he jumped out that sky in the nick of time because we was about to see Finn and Elizabeth kiss. I said, nope, stop, pump your brakes. I was happy as shit. I said I knew they wasn't gonna kill Scott, but I was like, thank God, he all right. Couple scrapes and bruises, but he all right. Oh, and they got that little Boy Scout or whatever, Wyatt, to come back or whatever. And that little kid, that kid is smart. The way he handled the 911 operator on the phone, that I like that. I was like, okay, might have a future doctor on our hands here. I liked it. So after they got Scott to the hospital, Wyatt found that little locket or whatever that Obrecht gave Scott to hold on to with Nathan and Britt's photos in it and stuff. Um, so they ended up getting him to the hospital, and they called Jordan, of course, to investigate. And they figured, they was running some tests, but Finn was like, the way it's looking right about now, he didn't fall out that plane voluntarily. He was pushed. They're just waiting for the toxicology reports and stuff to come back. So of course, Jordan called Britt and all that to come down to the hospital, and now she found out her mother is missing because Scott was like, all he remembered was they were on a plane and the plane was having issues or whatever. They were trying to sip champagne, and he doesn't even remember jumping out the plane. So he was hoping that Liesl got out because he thought Liesl was at the hospital with him, but they was like, nah, she not here. And Jordan was like, they got no reports of the plane crash. So the plane never crashed or nothing like that. So they're just waiting to get, information on the manifest and all that stuff. So they could find that plane and find out Liesl's whereabouts. But you could tell like Scott is definitely in distress because he misses Boo. Scott was like, nah, we need to find my lady. Fuck all this. He was like, find my Boo. Find her now. But this is getting interesting though. I definitely think the Cassadines might have a hand in all of this. I definitely think they do. I wouldn't be surprised. So anyway, I believe that's everything in this episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.